I'm going to tell you a good news story about people's place in creation. At first, you might not think it's such good news, but if you're patient, you will see that it is. It's a true story because they are usually the best ones. Mim often told her parents how much she loved Australian native plants. So one day, amongst the other things that parents give a teenage girl for her birthday, they bought her a potted kangaroo. They put it on the veranda just outside her bedroom window so that she wouldn't forget to water and tend it. Kangaroo paws, like native plants everywhere, do just fine if they're left in the ground where they originated. However, as soon as people interfere with the plants, they have to keep on caring and helping for things to keep going well. Mim's parents knew that they were taking a risk putting a plant in her care. What if she didn't water it? They themselves had had the occasional pot plant disaster when no amount of care would make a plant thrive, but generally their plants did well. They watched the kangaroo paw, hoping that Mim would take care of her plant. At first she did, but after a while she stopped noticing the kangaroo paw. They discussed whether to interfere and decided that the plant was in Mim's care and they should let her take care of it. What do you think happened? Sadly, the plant died. It needed more care than Mim was prepared to give. The kangaroo paw is like the earth on which we live. Once people start taking over the natural world, they have to keep on caring for it to make sure that things are okay for the plants, the animals, the river, the earth, the oceans and the air. When people cut down trees without replanting, overgraze or overplant land without giving back to the soil, dam up rivers without making sure that there's enough water downstream, make huge holes in the ground, our environment suffers. There are so many places around the world where people's interference and lack of care has meant that the land can no longer support life. So, how is this a good news story when so far it seems pretty dismal? Mim grew up. She still remembers the dead kangaroo paw, and in fact, when I asked if I could tell her story, she asked if I was going to talk about that ill-fated pot plant. Mim grew up to care very deeply about the environment. She and her husband have the most amazing gardens, including a thriving vegetable patch, which they tend without poisons and without chemicals. Mim grew up to care very deeply about people too, and has done a great deal of study about how people can be just and caring in our world. She even teaches students at university. As part of her research in this area, she wrote this book. And this study gave her a vision for ways that people can care for one another, the earth. But that is a story for another time. The good news is that we are loved, and as part of creation, as long as we live, every one of us can grow and change. We don't have to make the same mistakes over and over. Each of us can make a positive difference for tomorrow, even though we might have made mistakes yesterday. Each of us, as part of creation, is a work in progress. It is my hope that no matter how young or how old we are, we will find ways to take care of our world and each other.